Hello and welcome to this Black Talk Radio News Brief. My name is Scotty Reed. Please continue to support the production of independent black media. You can make a donation today to the nonprofit Black Talk Media Project by going to blacktalkradionetwork.com. And this story that I'm about to share with you really illustrates why it is important that African Americans, black people, oppressed people develop their own media outlets, because the stuff that we get from corporate media is straight up disinformation. And then you got the Biden administration got the nerve to try to put together a disinformation board at Homeland Security, and maybe instead of worrying about so-called Russian disinformation, they should have been worried about these terrorists, these domestic white supremacist terrorists here in the United States. And I think Homeland Security got some explaining to do, and there should be a congressional hearing with these people testifying at Homeland Security, but I digress. So this story was shared with me by a reliable source on Facebook, and I know the party that's involved, and so I don't doubt, that this is the case. But this is a story about CNN double standards, and this is in relation to the Buffalo terrorist attack on the black community up in Buffalo. This guy right here, Major Denis Prokopenko, Ukrainian National Guard Azov Regiment. All right, he has been on CNN as well as some other corporate outlets, and they're being hailed as heroes and what have you. But what they're not telling you, and what they did not disclose, that the Azov Regiment and battalion, because it's more than just a regiment, it's entire battalions of these white supremacists. But the very symbol that the Buffalo white supremacist terrorist used on his manifesto, the Black Sun, is one of the symbols that Ukrainian Azov battalion members use. These are bona fide Nazis. Now, these are the type of people that CNN has been bringing on for puff pieces and disinformation about the Ukrainian war. But this is what recently happened. Now, I don't know Kalonji Changa personally. I know of him. I believe I actually interviewed him some years ago. He is a activist in the black community, and I don't mean like just somebody who just takes that title just to raise money and buy mansions and stuff like that. No, this is a real brother. This brother puts in real work, and I am a big admirer of his. But as you can see, a family member of the Buffalo shooting victim told CNN they wanted me to join them during the interview. Producer calls back and says they didn't realize I was, quote, so militant, unquote. Dude shot 13 people, but I'm the threat. At Brooke Baldwin, could you let your ex-crew know I'm no cannibal? Shaking my head. So again, as I stated, CNN's been bringing on bona fide Ukrainian Nazis, but they talking about this real activist is some kind of quote unquote militant. Here is from an article about CNN promoting Ukrainian Nazis. Leading U.S. media network CNN has promoted a commander of Ukraine's neo-Nazi Azov regiment without mention of his hate group's extremist views. In 2014, a gang of Ukrainian neo-Nazis formed a militia called the Azov Battalion. These far-right extremists played a leading role in a violent U.S.-sponsored coup that overthrew Ukraine's democratically elected government, which they had deemed too, quote-unquote, pro-Russian. The new pro-Western regime that was installed in Kyiv after the 2014 Maidan coup waged a brutal war on Russian-speaking Ukrainian separatists in the east of the country. Kyiv turned to fascist gangs like Azov to help strengthen its weak military forces, and indeed they do claim these are their strongest fighters. Azov was officially incorporated into the Ukrainian state. It became a regiment in the National Guard while still maintaining its white supremacist ideology. and use of numerous Nazi symbols. Again, there's one of their commanders that they brought on, and again, the white supremacist terrorist that struck in Buffalo on his manifesto, he used the black sun Nazi symbol, and that is what the Ukrainian Nazis also use. So again, this is why it is important that you support independent black media, independent media in general, but independent black media specifically, because they censor us. They censor us. They censor, our people who will go on and speak truth to power while giving a platform to Nazis. Okay? So, anyway, this has been Scotty Reed with the Black Talk Radio News Brief. Peace and blessings to all except white supremacists and Nazis.